It looks to me like a rigged election. The election is being rigged by corrupt media, pushing completely false allegations and outright
Stay
lies.
tuned.
This is Life in the Philippines. Breaking news alert.
If Donald Trump loses, there's a real chance that he may try to overturn the results and steal the election. Now, here's a very good idea of how he tried to do it. Donald Trump has repeatedly told us that he will not accept the results of the election if he loses.
It looks to me like a rigged election. The election is being rigged by corrupt media, pushing completely false allegations and outright lies.
That may sound a little bit outlandish, but unfortunately, our election system is poorly designed and vulnerable to an attack by wannabe autocrats like Donald Trump. Here's how it works. There are two vote counts that determine who wins the presidency. The first count is of voters' ballots, and it happens between now and December 8th. While there's no hard deadline for states to finish counting voters' ballots, federal law creates a strong incentive for states to finish by December 8th. The second count is of the Electoral College votes themselves. When you vote for a presidential candidate, you're actually voting for a slate of electors. Now, there are actual people who vote to elect the president. There are 538 electors, collectively referred to as the Electoral College. They vote to choose the president. Each state's electors meet in their state on December 14th. They vote for the president and send a record of their votes to Congress. Then, on January 6th, the newly elected Congress, not the current one, counts the Electoral College votes. This count in Congress is what actually determines who the president is. If Trump tries to steal the presidency, he'll do it by disrupting both of these counts. Between Election Day and December 14th, you should expect Trump and his allies to disrupt the ballot count and try to delay it past the Electoral College when it meets on December 14th. His campaign could file legal and administrative challenges against ballots, and we may see armed white supremacist militias attempt to directly prevent the boards of elections from counting ballots. And Trump may even order federal agents to seize ballots or halt the count in some places, creating chaos, delaying the ballot count, and potentially making it impossible to complete the ballot count before the Electoral College meets on December 14th would all be intended to sow public doubt about the legitimacy of the election. Now, that's when the Republicans would make their move. Normally, the governor of a state is responsible for certifying with which candidates electors should be appointed to the Electoral College. And that's based on which candidates won the state's popular vote. This is where the constitutional crisis could begin. Republican state legislatures in key swing states like Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, each of which has a Democratic governor and a Republican-led state legislature, could declare that the election has been corrupted by fraud, that an accurate ballot count is impossible, and that Trump is the rightful winner. The legislature could then vote to illegally appoint a second rival slate from electors to vote alongside the legitimately appointed slate of Biden electors on December 14th. That would result in the state sending the contradictory votes to Congress. This may sound far-fetched, but it's happened before. In 1876, 4 states sent competing slates of electors to Congress in the election between Democrat Samuel Tilden and Republican Rutherford B. Hayes. The result was a major constitutional crisis. Following a protracted negotiations which concluded only days before the inauguration, the two parties reached a political compromise to determine the winner. Hayes was sworn in as the president in return for the withdrawal of all federal troops from the South, thus effectively ending Reconstruction and ushering in a century of Jim Crow. If a state sends two delegates of electors to Congress, Congress must determine which electors to count and which to discard. And if that happens, the outcome of the presidential election comes down to a vote in Congress. We can be sure that Republicans will do everything in their power to make Trump the winner on January 6th. They'll do that, and even if it means violating political norms and even the law. What we're talking about is not an election, it's a coup. And we will be in a fight to save democracy. The good news is that if Trump does try to steal the election, we can block him if we take decisive action. If Trump tries to steal the election, we need to protest by the tens of millions. And we need to keep protesting until Trump concedes and leaves the White House. A towering presence, one like the wind. Be a king or a queen. Life in the Philippines.